From a base coat of Abaddon Black, paint a thick highlight of Incubi Darkness on all of the sharp edges. This paint is very similar to the black, so it's not that noticeable, but it's the first stage of generating the black colour. In addition, a thinned version of this paint is painted on any areas where you want dot highlights. When you hold any black model under bright light, it'll kind of show you where these highlights are to go, but really put them where you think feels most accurate. A second thinner edge highlight then with Thunderhawk Blue, trying to remain within the previous highlight, so some of the Incubi Darkness is visible, but on some of the sharper areas they're going to overlap anyway. Just aim to keep this highlight as thin as possible, but covering the entirety of the model as the next highlights are a bit more refined. As previous, we're building up the point highlights on the carved areas of the armour, so this again is quite thin, dotted within the boundaries of the previous colour. A second highlight then, even thinner, of Fenrisian Grey. You don't have to cover all of the edges with this, definitely the sharper edges, and anywhere you can use the edge of the brush. Even with the edge of the brush though, sometimes the highlight's a bit too chunky, and you can always refine it back with use of the Thunderhawk Blue. Paint the centre of the dot highlights now again with thin Fenrisian Grey. Now pick out the very sharpest of corners using blue horror. You don't really need to pick up too many areas of this colour, but definitely the sharper areas to give it a noticeable contrast from the colour below. This then is the final colour of the point highlight as well. Thin it right down, because Mibylorr in particular anyway is an old edge paint which is quite heavily pigmented, and just thin it down as thin as you need to. Now glaze the entire model with a kind of a turquoisey green colour. I'm using very thinned Terradon Turquoise, and it's thinned down with contrast medium. Just keep the paint flowing quite quickly so it doesn't particularly pool, but acts more like a glaze over the entire area of armour. You can finish the effect then with small dot highlights of Ulthuan Grey on the sharpest corners. This is a bit of an optional step, but on this particular model there are a lot of rivets, so it's definitely noticeable if you pick out all the rivets in this colour, or potentially maybe using a silver. And this is the finished result. If you like this video, feel free to check out the channel where I have numerous other painting tutorials, and if you want to be kept up to date, please consider subscribing.